miss this. Everything that you're about to witness. Get up, come out and try to get this. This is all a part of my sickness. But listen up, cause you're about to miss this. Everything that you're about to witness. Get up, come out and try to get this. And this is all a part of my sickness.
Hello and welcome to Crack the Cred, the show that takes a mystery out of cracking passwords or finding ways around them. I'm your host, Dana Epp, and in today's episode, we're going to show you how to crack Windows passwords using rainbow tables. In previous episodes, we've talked about how to get around Windows passwords or how to recover or reset them. But in today's episode, we're actually going to go through and crack what's already there. This gives us the capability of trying to understand or recover what someone's password may be if we need to have it, and more importantly, give us an opportunity to audit what we're having to manage. It's very useful in this context to actually go through on a regular basis and take a look at the passwords that are being utilized in our environment. It has several good reasons for it, but the primary one is just to make sure that we're auditing that users are having stronger passwords. Now, in normal Windows environments, if you enhance the domain policies, it's going to be able to enforce stronger requirements. But there's always going to be something or someone that's going to try to find ways around it. They just want to make it easier on themselves. And our job is to audit for that type of behavior, and we're going to do that today using Offcrack. Now, just to kind of set the stage and what's going to happen here is the friends over at Offcrack sent me this really sweet Icy box, which is just basically several terabytes of rainbow tables running on an eSATA drive. It becomes very useful for us because instead of trying to brute force or try to recover and generate hashes that we might utilize and match against, we just have a database of these stored in a rainbow table. So when we need to go and look for passwords, it becomes quite easy. And that's what we're going to do right now. So to get started, let's set the environment. Let's set the stage of having a user. Let's call her Alice. And let's set up a password for her so that we can see this actually in action from end to end. So let's go with that right now. The first thing that we're going to want to do is go through the process of setting up an account called Alice just so we can set up a password. So we're just going to go netuser alice/add. Oh, I got to set up a password for netuser. Let's do something with some uppercase letters and lowercase letters and numbers, and how about even special characters? We'll do something simple here because we don't want to spend all day here, but why don't we do capital P at SSME exclamation mark. Something as simple as that. So that's kind of reasonable if you followed the policies on some of the older Windows Server 2003 policies. That would actually match. That is a strong password. So now let's utilize that to our advantage. The first thing we need to do anytime we're going to crack a Windows password is we are going to need to have the hash. There's lots of ways that we can get that and lots of tools. I'm just going to use a simple tool here called password dump. So if we just head on over into, I happen to store this in my tools directory. And if we just run password dump at the command line, what we can see is the commands that we can pass to it. The first thing you can see here is a -X option, which we're going to use since we're on a 64-bit system. Interestingly enough, when we connect up, the pwdump requires you to actually run -X if the host that you're on is running on a 64-bit system, such as I am here on this machine. But you can target it to other machines. If you know the username and password to another target that's not this particular one, you can easily enter in that as well using the -U and -P switches, giving you the capability to target another machine on the network to go get that hash. In our case, we just created Alice here on this machine just for testing, and so we'll just connect to this machine. So I'm just going to go pwdump -X, and then I'm going to say localhost. When I run that, it's going to dump here all the usernames and passwords we have in the system. And here's the one that we want, the Alice account. So if we just simply go and we'll mark this, and we're going to copy this whole line and put it into our clipboard. And now what we're going to do is go over to Offcrack, and we're actually going to run it through the tool set. So when we go in here, I need to load the hashes. In OffCrack, if I click on here, you see I have plenty of options here. I can put in a single hash like we're about to do right now. We can use a PWDump file that we can have. You can use the -O option in PWDump and it'll just dump it right there. We can use a session file or encrypted SAM, the local SAM, or even a remote SAM, so giving us a capability of connecting to the user password databases on Windows systems. In my case here, I'm just gonna take a single hash, which I could have extracted anyway. In this case here, we've done it through PWDump, but there's lots of different ways to get it through Metasploit and whatnot. Once I have it, I just hit OK, and now we've got that password. Now, for the purposes of this demo, we're going to just we already know what it is, what was that, 7 characters with upper and lower cases and all that kind of stuff. So to speed this along, because even though we're gonna use rainbow tables, on a little laptop like this could take some time. But I'm gonna just load up the tables that I want. In my case here, I've already preloaded what's called the Vista tables, which will work on Windows 7, which I'm running here on Windows Server 2008 and whatnot. In this case, I'm just gonna select the Vista 7 rainbow tables. That'll just speed up this thing, so it'll only take us a few minutes instead of taking us hours to run through this. But then I'll load it up. At this point, we're ready to go. All I need to do at this point is, now that I've pointed the rainbow tables into OffCrack, I've loaded the hash that I want to go after, I simply just click on Crack and let it run. Now this is gonna take a few minutes, so we'll just, through the magic of editing, we'll cut over to this, but in a few minutes, watch what happens. So there you go. In less than 9 minutes, we were able to recover Alice's password. Now, on this little laptop, it has very little power, and a couple terabytes on an eSATA drive with rainbow tables, we were able to recover this. If you were using this on a machine that had far more power, now remember, with PWDump, we were able to extract that hash and then run that against a system. So you don't actually have to have these tools running on the same machine where the passwords exist. You can actually connect up remotely, extract those hashes, and then run it through your cracker. Takes no time at all. So good benefit here, great experience to see just how easy it is to recover. In this case, 7-character, upper, lowercase, special characters, numbers, and the like. And that's because of the power of the rainbow tables. If you're having a much beefier computer that has a pretty good video card or several video cards with the GPUs, you can get this stuff in seconds if you have the right capabilities. And you need to be aware of that as an IT administrator, or just somebody that wants to know how to crack in and use these passwords for good here, right? For information security purposes, not being evil. But there you have it. Now, in the next episode, I think we're gonna go through and we might demonstrate how we'll be able to leverage hashes without even needing to crack them. But until then, just remember that with anyone with the right cracking tools and, well, with rainbow tables, they'll be able to recover pretty much any password that's under 8-9 characters in just a few minutes.